If you're not a single 30-year-old Christian man, keep scrolling. If you are a single 30-year-old Christian man, where are you guys? Us single Christian 30-year-old women are straight up thinking the Lord might have ran out of husbands.
I can't do it! I can't do it! I can't do it! I can't do it, Lord!
Okay guys, stay with me. I want to know, why is it that there are so many single women desiring marriage? And I'm speaking about in a Christian environment. In a Christian environment where there's men and women God-fearing, how is it that there are so many women desiring marriage but not as many men? Now I know women are not the ones that propose to themselves, so the blame is not on women. I just genuinely want to know, what is the issue that as a woman desiring marriage in a Christian environment, what is the issue that you're facing? Because I'm seeing so many high achieving women and I'm looking around like, how are you desiring marriage when there should be a litter of men lining up at your door? And now I want to know, is it that the men that are in the churches are not doing it for the women, or is it that the men are not interested and they would rather bring a woman from outside the church inside the church? Or is it that the men are not interested? What is the issue? I want to know, what is the issue that you seem to be facing?
So to all of you women who have went out of your way to hurt a man for whatever reason you did, to the point where now they think that we're all the same, I have something for you. Because now I keep coming in contact with men who are emotionally unavailable, don't know how to communicate, and they have trauma because you decided to do something to someone.
I am at my wit's end, and no one can tell me anything. I am at my wit's end. I'm at my wit's end, and after a really wonderful night of taking myself out, I am ending it in tears. I am ending it in tears because even though I had an amazing night tonight, I am still coming home alone, and it bothers me. It hurts. It's uncomfortable, and I'm not used to it, so I can complain about it.
And this is why there are so many Christian single women at the church, literally single for years, not getting married, not getting any type of dates, not getting any type of attention. While they are serving at church, they're doing all the right things on paper. They might be in great physical shape. They might have their healing journey all, through and through. They're doing the inner work. They're doing all that. They are focused. They are focused on Christ. They've been focused on Christ for years. They have been doing the things that people have been telling them to do for years, yet they're still single, have no candidates, have nobody looking in their direction. Let me tell you something. The church does not teach Christian women how to date. The church does not teach Christian women to date at all. What they tell us to do is to sit with our hands in our laps and to wait for a man to come at our door. That is not biblically wise. Faith without works is dead, and that applies to every area of our life. If you have a job and you lose that job, are you just going to sit and pray for God to send you a new job and then just stay at home and not apply for a single job? No. If you lose your job, you're going to pray, Lord, please bless me with another job. Of course, there's the faith. But then after that, you're going to go searching for a job. You're going to be applying for jobs. And you're going to pray that God will bless you with the right job. If all you're doing is sitting at home doing 1,000 prayers for your future spouse, you are fasting, you are praying, you're doing all these other things, but you're not actually putting any practical works into dating, more times than not, you are not going to find your spouse.
Single men actually go to church on their own, by themselves. Because people tell me all the time, you should go find a good, godly man at church. Do you know how hard that is to find? I just went to church this morning, and it's a pretty good sized church. And I just decided for science to look around and just see, is there any single men by themselves? Because I never, no matter what church I go to, no matter what denomination, I almost never see single men by themselves going to church. I looked around, I counted like 15 to 20 women who looked like they were by themselves. Or there was a couple other women who looked like it was just them and one other woman. If I counted them, it was like 25 women. I saw one man who was there by himself. But that one man actually gave me hope for a few minutes. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Again, not because I wanted to meet him or talk to him, but because I was like, hey, some men do go to church on their own. It wasn't 2 minutes later after I noticed that a woman came up and sat next to him and held his hand. I was like, just kidding. I looked around on the stage. There was multiple men up there on stage. Between the pastors and the singers, every one of them had a ring on. So you tell me, there was tons and tons of single women there. Although I don't really know their relationship status, there was tons of women there on their own. Not a single man that I could find anywhere in the audience that was by himself. Not one. Do single men go to church? I don't understand it. Help me understand.
Why are there no cute guys in the church? Is he cute? Maybe I can convince myself he's cute. Ugh, of course. All the good ones got taken up. I came too late. Is it just that men of God aren't cute?
I think in the good year of our Lord of 2025, it is easy to be in a relationship. There's so many avenues to be in a relationship. But at the end of the day, when you're putting yourself first and you're putting your standards first and you have non-negotiables, you're going to wait. You're going to wait. And the wait is worth it. You know, at the end of the day, have good men approach me? Of course. Every good man is not your man.
You have a degree, you have a good job, and you love God. But you still single. Let me break down the truth that nobody want to tell you. A lot of women says there are no good men left. They waiting on their Boaz. But it's a little deeper than that. A lot of women don't want the male version of themselves. He's on your level. A lot of women don't want the male version of themselves. When you see the male version of yourself, you realize that you probably ain't crap either. When you find the male version of yourself and you don't like it, that's probably because you got some work to do as well. A lot of women are here and expecting a man to be here.
My kids were with their dad this summer and I went on 11 first dates. That's right, I said 11, and it was crazy. It was my summer of love. It was fun, it was fine, but I'm gonna teach you what I learned. Now, first of all, this content isn't for everyone. I am a Christian and I love the Lord, and so I'm trying to date like a Christian. That means I got boundaries. I'm not making out with these people. I'm not having sex with these people. There are no hooking up. There's no touching. It's just meeting them. My hair just definitely got in the tuna I'm about to make for myself. So most of these guys were very interested in going on second dates with me. And one of the ones that wasn't, I was very interested in going on all the dates with him. And he wasn't even a Christian. Dumb. So what I learned about myself is that I'm a little not emotionally available. And his lack of interest, I translated into, oh, well, one of us has to be pursuing, so I guess it's me since you're not. Don't do that. That's my advice for you. Don't do that. My second piece of advice is that if they are nagging you at all, and if you don't know what that is, just look it up on TikTok. It's basically being negative and like acting like you're dumb or making jokes about you being inadequate. No, X, off the island. I did end up going on a date with him for a second date. And although it was slightly enjoyable, those 2 times that he just laughed at me for something, I was like, and tried to like bring me down about something, I was like, yeah, you know, you're not cute enough to do that to me. Guy number 3. If I, at the end of the date, hug you and pat your back like you're my bro, like you're my brother, nothing's happening between us. I felt bad because the date went well. He was so nice and my body just rejected him. It was sad. So listen to your body, ladies, because it doesn't lie. Well, maybe it does, but just listen to it.